Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan have close friendly relations. Currently, the two Central Asian countries are major economic partners. On average, the trade turnover between the countries amounts to $99 million per year. Kazakhstan exports agricultural products such as flour and wheat, as well as confectionery, petrochemical and metal goods to Turkmenistan. The country is also interested in purchasing Kazakh rails. Turkmenistan's need for railway roads reaches 13,000 tons annually. We are interested in supplying our rails for this project. In comparison with our competitors, we can ensure a unique quenching technology of rails, where resistance of the rails and logistics.
И плюс логистика, в первую очередь, на нашей стороне.
У нас сейчас ведется переговоры с казахской стороной.
Negotiations are continued with our Kazakh partners. We want to visit your city and have a look at your factory soon. Then our management will sign a contract with yours. The countries intend to further expand bilateral cooperation. They plan to develop joint projects in areas such as transport, aerospace industry and pharmaceuticals. Several Turkmen business people are ready to start the partnership projects. In addition to the expansion of the existing valves, rails and transformers, we expect that the commercial automotive equipment and the pharmaceutical industry will succeed. The joint Kazakh-Turkmen factories are operating successfully in Kazakhstan. Experts also highlighted a great potential in transit transport as well as in cultural and humanitarian cooperation between Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. The experimental plantation of melons in the Turkestan region has yielded good results. Russian buyers are interested in organic watermelons of Kazakhstan. The weight of the melons planted on an area of 106 hectares reaches more than 15 kilograms. Of these, the watermelons were planted on 66 hectares and the melons were planted on the remaining 40 hectares. Farmers of 3 melon farms in the Suzak region plan to export the fruits abroad. Last year, 250 tons of fruits were harvested from just one field of 10 hectares. Some of the fruits were delivered to neighboring countries. The Suzak region has just started to grow the watermelons. Previously, only corn, alfalfa and vegetables were planted. The local residents are mainly involved in camel breeding and farming. By joining the efforts of 3 farms, we plan to export over 600 tons of products. In 2020, melon farmers will start growing an additional 3 farms. We are going to increase volumes. We've begun exporting watermelons. There are good results. We mainly export to Russia and other regions of Kazakhstan, including the northern region. Greenhouse business is being actively developed in Kazakhstan. Vegetables are frequently grown using new technologies nowadays. Greenhouse facilities is planned to be constructed and opened in Yekibastuz. The total area of the facilities is 50 hectares. 10 greenhouse facilities are expected to be commissioned this year. New varieties of tomatoes will be grown in the greenhouse complexes. Tomatoes from Yekibastuz are in high demand among consumers. It is mainly exported to the Siberian regions of Russia. According to greenhouse executives, the new facilities will cover the demand of domestic market of Kazakhstan.
По плану, первая декада августа мы сдаем рассадник.
According to the plan, we hand over the seed plot in the first 10 days. After 1 month, we hand over the greenhouse complexes to transplant the tomatoes. The greenhouse will be built based on Dutch technology. The equipment is purchased in Holland, and the project is completed in Holland. This is not the first project based on Dutch technology in Yekibastuz. The supervision and construction supervision are conducted by foreign specialists from the Netherlands. Meanwhile, a net house innovative greenhouse based on Israeli technology is built in Aktube. It is a metal frame covered with a special photoprotective grid. It uses the same planting and irrigation technologies as in a regular greenhouse. However, the innovative greenhouse does not need heating system and vegetables can be grown in the complex from May to September. The net house, which is a 15 million tenge project, is yielding crops. More than 1 ton of cucumbers are collected every other day and delivered to the local supermarkets.
Сетка имеет огромное количество преимуществ, она защищает.
The grid has a number of benefits. It protects plants from excessive solar radiation, wind, and most importantly, it protects from pests, particularly insects. The greenhouse has great ventilation, and due to which the plants will not get sick. The greenhouse complexes are equipped with modern technologies. It gives an opportunity to minimize the operating costs while significantly increasing productivity and business efficiency. China is strengthening cooperation with Central Asian countries in areas of security. One of the leading elements of such partnership with China is conducting joint training. The Chinese police and the National Guard of Kyrgyzstan are conducting joint anti-terrorism training based on the agreements reached by leaders of the two countries. The training is designed to strengthen security cooperation, increase the combat effectiveness of the armed forces, as well as strengthen the interstate relations between the countries. The trainings between China and Kyrgyzstan are a good opportunity to strengthen the coordination between the countries' military to counter terrorism. We will benefit from the experience of Chinese colleagues in terms of tactics of warfare. We want to work with our Kyrgyz counterparts on counterterrorism in order to improve the skills of anti-terrorism training and operational command. China also conducts military trainings with colleagues from Tajikistan in the Gorno-Badakhshan Autonomous Region. One company of China's People's Liberation Army and a battalion of mobile troops of Tajik Ministry of Defense are involved in the joint training, which involves a total of 1,200 troops, of which 580 are from China. The country's military units focus on developing skills and fire training, as well as joint anti-terrorism, intelligence, and search and rescue operations. Tajikistan may enter the Guinness World Records book with a huge national musical instrument doira made by Tajik craftsman Said Nodir Khaidarov. The instrument's dimensions is impressive. The diameter is more than 1.5 meters and the weight is over 30 kilograms. The craftsman took 3 months to complete the doira. The instrument is made of 4 species of wood and a whole piece of cow leather. 109 metal rings were placed inside the instrument for a better sound. My students and I came up with the idea of creating something that would surprise and attract tourists. We ended up creating the biggest doira. The instrument is my second work. The first one was 1.5 diameters wide. The master's first work is kept in the National Museum of Tajikistan. Doira is the main exhibit of the musical instrument hall. Last year, the museum hosted an exhibition where Said Nodir Khaidarov presented his musical instruments. The exhibition hall was full since visitors are interested to see the big doira. The management of the museum decided to purchase the instrument and display it for the public. Said Nodir is a self-taught man. Over the years, he has mastered not only the creation of dozens of national instruments, but also began to teach the skills to his students. I have been learning from the craftsman since childhood. Now I attend his classes every day. I want to learn to create and play the musical instrument tablak. Said Nodir not only creates musical instruments but also plays them as well. Now he has one more goal, which is to make another national musical instrument tablak. Abay is a great philosopher, enlightener and poet. His heritage is an integral part of Kazakh culture and literature, as well as its pride and achievement. This year, the 175th anniversary of Abay Kunanbayev will be widely celebrated. Large-scale celebrations are being planned throughout the country. A number of exhibitions dedicated to the poet and philosopher were organized at the National Academic Library. At the event, Abay's books were presented, as well as the film Kunanbay was premiered. Within 1 month, we plan to organize a number of events dedicated to Abay's birthday, including Abay's readings, discussions, as well as reading Abay's poems by children, performance of his songs, and exhibitions of his book in the school libraries. Rare books have been brought from Abay Library in Semey to the exhibition. The book was personally read by Abay Kunanbayev himself. He never stopped learning until the last days of his life. One of the poets' favorite editions is the works of Russian and world classics, as well as philosophical chronicles. Abay frequently visited the library. Abay Kunanbayev was not only our library's reader, but he was also one of the initiators of the establishment of our library, together with Yevgeny Petrovich Mikhailis. This time when Abay was our reader was captured by Mukhtar Awezov in his book, The Path of Abay. President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, signed a special decree in May this year on the celebration of the 175th anniversary of Abay Kunanbayev. The event is organized under the auspices of UNESCO and Turksoy. Creativity of great Kazakh poet Abay is respected in Kazakhstan and overseas. Works of the Kazakh poet are available to a wide range of readers in Germany. German translator, publisher and critic Leonard Kossuth has translated over 20 poems of Abay. He said that it was hard but interesting to translate the poems. The literature critic highlighted that by translating the poet's works, he could introduce Kazakh literature to the German public, as well as deep philosophical thoughts of the philosopher of the Great Steppe. I'm very glad that I have translated Abay's works. I remember I have spent 3 years on translating poems, which resulted in a book. It's not only about translations, but I also had to understand and feel these works and to get to know history and culture. It was not easy because I do not speak Kazakh. Abay Kunanbayev's works are very popular in Azerbaijan. His work is permeated with lyrics inherent in Turkic people. Abay's works were translated into Azerbaijani language for the first time in 1936.
Onu tercüme edən Heydar Orucov olub.
Heydar Orucjev was the first to translate Kunanbayev's works. However, he was repressed in 1938, which is why his manuscripts were not published. Fortunately, they were not lost altogether and were published in Ulduz literary publication in 2000. There are lectures on Abay's creativity in the Baku State University. We have published this book taking into account the educational preferences of students. We also want his poems to be included in the school curriculum because Abay was a person who earned special merits in life and history of the Turkic people. Over the years, a number of publications about Kazakh writer Abay Kunanbayev have been issued in Azerbaijan. His works are translated into Azerbaijani language. Abay's contribution to the development of Kazakh literature is studied in the country's universities. The Abay Center of Kazakh Studies was opened in Baku in 2011. Days of Poetry and Literature have been organized in the center for 8 years.
Мы в преддверии юбилея Абая Кунанбаева. We are
on the eve of the anniversary of Abay Kunanbayev. Our center will take an active part in this celebration. We have a plan to conduct various events dedicated to this celebration. We have started. Our center participated in the contest of Abay Kunanbayev's poetry reading in Kazakh language.
В эстафете прочтения стихов Абая Кунанбаева на казахском языке.
One of the longest streets in Baku is named after Abay Kunanbayev. This was done to show the respect that Azerbaijanis have for the great Kazakh philosopher. The Academic Theatre of Musical Comedy in Karaganda is going on a tour. The artists will perform on the Astana Opera stage in the capital. The theatre troupe will perform a musical titled Scarlet Sails by Maxim Dunayevsky and Imre Kalman's Die Bayadir operetta. The audience will enjoy the drama of a romantic love story written by Alexander Green. The music will escalate emotions. Extraordinary choreography will add grandeur to the performance. This is one of the new performances in the repertoire of the Karaganda Theatre. The actors are ready to surprise the audience in the capital.
This
is a very branded performance to date. Critics who have seen the play said that it is one of our best plays. The play is conducted by the winner of the Gold Mask, Susanna Siryuk, who is known not only in Kazakhstan and Russia but also abroad due to her great professional experience. The Dai Bayadir operetta will continue with the theme of great love. The audience will be able to plunge into the coloring of India. The will of protagonists' conflicts will establish traditions. This is conveyed by the music of the Hungarian composer.
И декорации, и костюмы, грим, это все.
The scenery, costumes and makeup are dedicated to the Indian culture, which is also very unique for this performance. Of course, there is the only one Indian prince performing, but everyone has a style of Indian culture as well.
Но здесь у нас все будут в стиле культуры Индии.
The Scarlet Sails musical will be performed on August 17th. Meanwhile, Dai Bayadir operetta will be showcased on August 24th. A solo exhibition of Mukhtar Baibusin titled Hugs of Homeland is taking place at the Arc de Triomphe, Mangulik, Yale. 40 works of the master are showcased at the exposition. His paintings are dedicated to the vast steppes of Kazakhstan, people and traditions. Art critics said that the uniqueness of Baibusin's works is the beauty of the nature, joy of existence, as well as brightness and sonority. All the paintings at the exhibition are based on one theme, which is the culture and lifestyle of Kazakhs. The author said that each painting is his acknowledgement to the love of his homeland.
Цель этой выставки – это показать, довести до молодежи именно красоты наших степей, нашей природы.
The goal of this exhibition is to show young people the beauties of our steppes, nature, traditions, and lifestyle. My goal is to ingrain love to the homeland in them. I'm thinking of showcasing my works overseas, in the galleries of other countries. This is a dream of any painter. In the future, I have this promising project.
Выставиться в галереях других стран. То есть это мечта любого художника, и поэтому в проекте в будущем перспективе есть.
The Turan Festival of Kazakh Creativity took place at the Upper Urals region at the Russian border. The festival is organized for the 6th time this year. National centers of several districts from Chelyabinsk, Kurgan and Sverdlovsk showcase their talents. Delegation from Kostanay attended the celebration as well. The festival program was very memorable and interesting.
Мына жерде бізде бесік, қазір туған баланы бесікке қалай салу керек сонда.
This is a cradle. We will show how to swaddle a newborn and how to put the baby into the cradle. There are blankets adorned with Kazakh ornaments as well as chapans and headdresses that our ancestors used to wear. A competition of the best Kazakh grandmother was organized at the festival as well. The most exciting contest is Jaima. It was organized for the first time at the festival. The participants had to roll the thinnest pastry for the Kazakh dish beshbarmak. I bow my head to our grandmothers who managed to preserve the ancestors' traditions and pass it down to us. Secrets of how to make kurt, cottage cheese, butter and other dishes are preserved. It is very difficult to distinguish the best grandmother. Meanwhile, horse racing was also organized at the festival. Based on estimations, 5,000 visitors are expected to attend the Turanjer Kazakh National Festival of Creativity this year. Decorative and applied art has been an integral part of culture in Central Asia. Cultures of fraternal nations of the region have many common features. This can be seen on traditional clothes. Nonetheless, there is some uniqueness inherent in each nation. Ornaments embroidered on fabric have a certain meaning. Craftspeople said that the unique features of each nation can be traced according to patterns on the clothes.
Мына көк көйлектің алды сырға ою дейді. Сырға деген тақыншақтардың оюларын.
The ornament on this blue dress is called Sirga Oyu. This ornament is our main distinction from other countries. We have geometric patterns as well. Kazakh ornaments have no borders, but we have in ours.
Домаланып келеді, айланып, ол не бұрыш болмайды қазақша оюларды, біздерде бұрыш болады.
Karakalpaks are one of the 25 Turkic people who live in Kazakhstan. There are all the conditions to develop and popularize the culture of each ethnicity in multinational Kazakhstan. With the new academic year, the Karakalpak Ethno-Cultural Association in the capital will open an embroidery class for school children. Students will learn the folk art of Karakalpaks and their history at the master classes.
Қыздарымыз осы бүгінгі кестешілік өнерінің барлық түрін бастайды. Кестешілік ең кішкентай бала.
Girls learn the art of embroidery starting in early childhood. It allows them to develop the stable movement of fingers. Then they embroider floor mats and decorations for a yurt. It is common that grandmothers teach their granddaughters how to embroider various pieces.
Киіз үйлердің ішінде бау шуларына үйрететін біздің өте өнерлі әжелеріміз бар.
Meanwhile, keepers of ancient traditions are paying particular attention to the education and upbringing of the younger generation. They tell the visitors about the national customs as well as the history of the nation.